Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the episode 14, Tuesday night BDL podcast. I am Rick Kelto.
Jamie Nunziata.
Dan Reed is MIA tonight.
Yeah, he's working.
He OD'd on donuts. He had too many peanut donuts as they've been re-released by Tim Hortons. You like that picture I sent you today?
I did. I was wondering, is he going to bring those or
what's that? I donated myself out this week.
You have to be very careful when you do that to a fat
guy. Yeah, I've donated myself out this week. You could OD on those. Like I said, Dan said tits, man. Thanks for the update. So, tonight we're being sponsored by the Blue Oyster. We're here waiting for the village people to show up and do their little YMCA dance. That'd be Scott Stanford, Mike Simonson, Paul Sanchez, and Ben McDaniel. So anyway,
I'm looking at these people right now. I'm like, they look like they're coming in here.
Sanchez is the Indian, the Sanchez, and then Ben McDaniel would be the construction worker. Let me think. What else have we got in there? There's a cowboy, right? I think Stanford would be the cowboy, and then Simonson would be the other guy.
He'd be the cop.
Yeah, he'd be the cop. Absolutely the cop.
He's got cop hair.
He's got that cop look.
Yep.
No, I'm just kidding. I love those guys. Just having a little bit of fun. News. Next session, we have one spot available. I just filled it. Tom Siegel's friend, Ben Scuba, I think it is, or Scoba, is taking one of the spots, and then we have one left. And I'm in negotiations right now for a player that was playing last session, maybe coming back, so that might shake up the first round.
Okay.
So we'll see. We did apprehend the donut thief from the donut
we took
exchange.
Care of that, yeah.
He ate a stale jelly donut, and I didn't know it was stale. I really didn't do anything to it. No, there wasn't laxative in it. I was just joking around. Brandon Florette texted me, "Did you really put laxative in this donut?" No, dude. We might have put some of that stuff from that Jock dough that Pat found. Oh. So, but it was all good fun. Thanks, Brett, for being a good sport. That's all I got for news. You guys think anything?
No.
Okay.
I'm
got some good music on in the background.
Yeah. The Blue Oyster's rocking.
The Wi-Fi is all set up in the building now. They got it all set. Kevin Zakowicz, Mike Simonson, Scott Stamford, our tech wizards. I wish they could help me with my tech because my tech sucks. I can't edit my ass from a hole in the ground. So anyway, getting to let's go right into the game results.
Let's do it.
First game.
A lot of good games.
6:30. Shocker. I did not see this coming. I did call it though. Last week, I said they could beat them if they played the way they played the previous week, and it happened. KAS over Not Fast But Furious 6-3. What'd you think?
Well, I think I predicted this. I don't not say I predicted this week. I don't know if I did or didn't, but I said it last time we played KAS. I said that watch out, Not Fast But Furious because they played them next.
Right.
Next time I said, may you feel what we felt.
Yep, you did say that. You did say that.
And you guys felt it. I watched that
You
game.
bumped them up in the power rankings that week, too, which was well-deserved.
And I've been, obviously, with my brother being on the team, I've been watching this team all season long. These guys have played together.
Well, and he watches because he likes to watch Al Rex run.
He wasn't there this week, though.
I know.
Get well soon, Al.
Yes, get well, Al. That's all we'll say about that.
Yep. And so there's something to be said about chemistry. They're gelling at the right time. They're getting used to this rink.
Yep.
And they have big, strong, talented forwards.
Neck crackers.
Who just say what they will. That they ran that team. I will say that Stu probably faced 55 shots in that game.
Stu got shelled, yeah. In that game, it was 6-3 KAS. The goal scorers were both Husinger and Goodrich each had 2 goals apiece. I don't know who had the other goals. And for Not Fast But Furious, the Donut scored again. Dan Reed. I think he's almost to 30 goals. He almost made it. And then the Donut Thief is the other one to score for them. So donuts all the way around.
Yeah. I do believe that Bill Dotson and Bill Hartke scored the other goals.
Bill Dotson made his preview the other night, so all the captains could see him in action. Mm-hmm. I thought he looked pretty good. Bill, welcome to the league. We're glad to have you. I'm very glad to have you. I always loved playing with and against you. One of the cleanest guys I've ever played with and against. He can play physical though too, and he's a solid player.
Damn fine player.
Yes, he is.
Hell of an American, Bill.
Hell of an American. Played for Team USA too. Over 40. Another USA alumni along with Patrick Burness. Mm-hmm. And we wish we would have Jared Pinner too, because there you go, we would have 3 of them. Mm-hmm. And great things come in threes. Game 2, 7:30. We had Kramer, versus Dateline. I also predicted this one. Kramer Forestry beat Dateline 6-2.
Yep.
And Dateline, 5-game losing streak, lost to every team in the league going into the playoffs. What's going on?
I don't know, and I thought they were going to come out of this because they are obviously a better team. You know, I'm thinking I'm playing against them. I think they have the talent. They're a better team. They were
beat
missing
us
some
the
guys.
first game of the year, 6-2.
They were missing some guys, but I was just mentioning that, I did kind of notice something because the last time we played them, I think it was 7-2. And then I played them the next week with KAS, and it was 7-3. And then I played them the next week with the Kings, and it was 9-2. And then last week they lost 6-2.
Yeah.
Their
scoring's kind of gone south.
Yeah, well, what I'm noticing a little bit is...
They stop running against us, too. I noticed that, too.
They
stop running.
come out pretty good in the first, and then it just seems
not having Donnie Rukoff makes a big difference, too, because Donnie runs, and when him and Nick are running on you, it makes it tough on a deep pairing. It really does. So, in the game, we had all three of these guys, 2 goals and an assist. Mr. Puffer, who well-deserved, voted the All-Star game.
Congrats.
Jared Kramer, 2 goals and an assist, and the guy that's been scoring all years, I think he ended up with like 14 points, Sammy Batts. He should have been elected to the All-Star game, but you didn't, Sam, but you deserved it if somebody would have picked you. And if somebody drops, I'm going to go off of points for who's next for the All-Star game. So we did pick that. I'll get to that in a little bit if you didn't watch the podcast for the donut exchange / All-Star draft. I thought Brandon and Stu did a great job, too, by the way.
Absolutely.
Stu's a little camera shy, though. Stu, don't be camera shy, dude. Look at me. I got a face for radio, and I'm not afraid to get in front of the camera. So, and I'm an ugly motherfucker. 8:30, game of the week. It was the game of the week. I just talked to G, who reffed, by the way, the other night, and reffed solidly. He did a great job along with Matt.
Yep.
He said that he wanted to come and see what this league was all about because he's been hearing a couple guys saying, it's a little more physical, and these guys play different. General's been here forever. General's reffed here forever, and he said that it was no different from the hockey, right? He goes, it might have been a little bit more physical, which our game was physical, but it was also a game for Kings were maybe trying to move up in the standings. We were trying to finish off the season with a win, and it was closer than the 4-1 score dictates because that game could have very well been 2-1. Brandon Florette stood on his head. Dave Pryor probably had 50 shots on him. I wish they kept shots because it was. We were all over them. They were all over us. There were points in the game where it was in waves.
Yep. But they came. Their forecheck was hard. They ran hard. They played hard. Burness, Moon, Herman.
Oh, my God. Moon. It seemed like Moon was on me every time I got the ball.
Yep. And they ran me. Like I said, I was playing defense with him. You can tell you there was no easy outs. They were on us.
Jay Katz played. The three of us played D, and Jay was taking short shifts because they were just running us. You guys did a great job. I mean, Brandon really stood on his head.
Yep.
In the game, Vertolino had 2 goals, and Jamie had 2 assists, and I don't remember who had the Kings goal.
It was Bill Herman.
Bill Herman had the Kings goal.
We had a couple turnovers.
Bill rocketed a couple off the post, too. I mean, there were a couple they just missed.
Bill rocketed a nice one off my knee.
Bill rocketed a nice one off me, too, right there. See?
Yeah, but that hit my pad and my stick and still left that.
I had a Charlie horse.
In my leg.
So Tuesday night, I'm laying on the couch and drinking my Gatorade, my before-bed Gatorade. And I'm laying there, and I go to straighten my leg out, and I get a goose egg, one of those freaking Charlie horses.
Yeah. Oh.
And I look down, and I've got this knot here. Thank you, Bill Herman. Now we got a rack tat. We've got a few other things that they call for these guys getting hit with balls. I don't know what we're going to call our Herman when you get hit. We got to call it something because it hurts.
Herman can fight right.
Dude, you got a cannon. You still got a cannon, Billy. And I'm not talking about the thing that hangs between your legs either.
I do want to say though, in our squad, and I'll get to this in my stars. Besides, I guess the forward who did play outstanding. Our best player in my mind was Mike Reagan.
Mike
offense, defense, face-offs. He had a goal and assist. He was vocal out there. You could see it in his face. He wanted to win.
Yep. Mike, and I'm telling you right now, it could very well be that 3 guys from our team, 4 possibly go in the top 10 in the next draft. I think you, Reagan, Vertolino, and Florette are going to go in the top 2 rounds. I'll bet on it. So, great game, guys. Great game, Kings. We got a lot of traffic coming in, but we're not going to. Oh God! Oh no, it's not. The YMC group is not here yet. We're still waiting on them. So
is that a real thing?
No, it's not. I'm just fucking with them. I want to build it up and then say, sorry, it ain't happening, but I'll let it go now. I had right into 3 stars of the week. My 3 stars were, as it goes, Dave Pryor, who filled in for the Kings, outstanding in net, stood on his head. Number 2 star for Kramer Forestry, who also played a great game, because from what I saw, he made quite a few great saves, was Tom Siegel. And then the number 1 star with letting 1 goal in and all the shots he faces, Brandon Fleuret. So, what do you think?
My 3 stars, I'm actually going to make all 3 goalies 1 star, so I don't have to. There's other people that played
all right.
well. My first star, though, is going to be Mike Reagan. I think he stepped up, and although he only had 2 points, that was a tough game. The goalie stood on his head. He played really, really, really well. It was probably the best game I've seen him play this year.
Tuesday. I see it. Oh. What is that, a rack tat?
Nope, Sanchez.
Oh, he got Sanchezed. Oh, you got to see this one. I don't know if we can get can you get your leg up there, old man?
No.
Oh, well,
man.
We ain't showing it. Look at that fucker. That's from Sanchez. Woo! Oh,
Sanchez.
baby.
Tattoo.
Vertolino, the other Vertolino got Sanchezed. Oh, boy.
It's like 5 minutes.
Oh, that one's going to hurt tomorrow. Anyway, sorry.
Yep, no problem. So my first star is Mike Reagan. My second star is Frank Russo, KAS. Smart guy, always gets to the spots, got sneaky good hands, always seems to be in that place, and always scores, so he is what he is. And then the third star, I'm going to go with all 3 goalies at 1 star. I watched all the games, I played in one of them, and both goalies in our game were fantastic. Siegel was fantastic. Stu was fantastic. Like I said, he gave up 6, maybe it was 5. I don't know if there was an empty net or not. May have been, but I'm telling you, when I was watching, 90% of the time, the ball was in his end. He was making save after save after save. So.
Yep. Well, that was the 3 stars. Next week, here we go. Next week's playoff games, 7:30 and 9:30. There's a gap in there. There's a roller game in between. Some people need the schedule changed around to be able to make it. The 7:30 game, we got Kramer versus KAS. This is a tough one for me to pick. I really think that Kramer can win it, but I just got this feeling the way KAS has been playing the last couple weeks is that KAS is going to win this playoff game. I think it's going to be really close. I think it might even go to overtime. I'm thinking like 5-4 or 3-2. We'll see. Game winner, I'm going to say we're going to go with Jeff Goodrich because he's been on a scoring bed. He's been scoring goals, and Jeff's got a great shot.
Yep.
So, I'm looking Kramer KAS, and I'm picking KAS in a close game, possibly in overtime, 1-goal game.
All right. Teams are pretty evenly matched. I just think that KS has probably a little bit more depth up front. Maybe Kramer has a nod in goal, and on the back end, I'm still going to take KS, but I'm going to take it 7-5, maybe with an empty netter in there. I think both teams have enough offense. They're all going to score. I just think right now KS is a wagon.
Yep, great call. 9:30 game. I don't know about rollers, so I don't know who's playing who in roller. I really don't care. I don't like roller. Hated ref and roller. It was like watching paint dry. So anyway, Kings at 9:30 versus Dateline Predators. And this is going to be number 2 upset. We're going to have the Kings knock off Dateline because Dateline's just struggling. Their scoring's gone. They're going to be missing 4 guys. They're going to be missing Donnie Rukoff, Scott Stamfer. Vertolino's not going to be here. We don't know. I mean, I'm sorry, guys, if the Kings show up with everybody, but the Kings are going to be minus Burnis and probably Lebecky. So it could go either way. It depends on what happens with the goalie situation with the Kings.
Yep.
If Tarquin's not injured, we've got to figure out what we're going to do for the goalie situation. We're still working on that right now with Jim. Jim and Scott and myself have some ideas. It's probably going to be a goalie that's played in the league this session, but the argument from the teams, the argument from some of the guys is he has to be equal to the goalie that they've had. So we're thinking maybe a Brody Cummins comes in and plays. We don't know yet. But we can't. Dave Pryor is up there on par with the top goalies in this
building. The guy
that
they had was fantastic.
Yeah, and it would be unfair to all the teams involved. I mean, I'm not trying to rank guys and say one guy's better than the other because Luke had a great game that one week. I wish Luke could have found that every week because he really played good that week. He let one in. So, but we'll get that figured out. And if Luke plays, it's a moot point.
Yep.
So
he's just healthy.
But the other thing too is that if Dateline Predators only have 5 guys, Jim may have to make an executive order and let Mike Simonson play because Mike's filled in a couple games for them this year.
Yep.
He's over 35, and we can't have these guys playing without a sub.
No way.
That's where we're going. Nick even said there might be a possibility of forfeiting, and I don't want to see anybody forfeit a playoff game. I would rather play and lose than win by forfeit. Right. So,
pay your money, play your game.
Exactly. So there's some things going on. We don't know what's going to happen with that. We'll keep you up to date. Tom Petty. Hey, there's the chief.
Chop chop.
Chop, 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 chop,
Cheap,
chop, chop,
cheap
chop,
chop,
chop, chop. Did you see the one I did of him as fucking hibachi chef?
Yeah, I did.
I'm gonna pop that one on here too. So anyway, getting to it. Next more of the power rankings, baby.
Do it.
And I'm not gonna steal. Did you see the other podcast with the power rankings, power rankings?
No.
That's awesome. I love it. And Scott and Mike do such a good job. I wish I could emulate them just a little bit. Because they do a really good job in their podcast.
And they do their podcast at a bar.
Yeah, well, they do it. No, that's Scott's man cave.
I know. It's a bar.
Yeah. Well,
Either way.
dude, you don't want to do it in my basement. It's like the Crypt Keeper, okay? He's probably in the background laughing, all right? It's an old fucking flagstone basement in South Buffalo.
I got you.
We ain't doing it there. If you got a man cave, we'll come to your house and do it. All right. My man cave is my office, which I've done the mock draft in there. It's like a 9x11 cell. So I got a cot, I got a shitter, and, you know, I got my desk and my computer. So, anyway, getting the power rankings. I'm having fun on the last regular season
let's do
podcast.
it.
Why not?
Get fun of all of them.
Okay. 6, I got Dateline Predators. Why? Because they've lost 5 in a row.
I agree.
5, I got the Kings. Because they lost this week. It could have been Kings, Kramer, or Chaos. It could have went. Those 3 teams could have fluctuated. 5. Kings? Okay. 4, I got Kramer. Kramer, I mean, they're playing. They played better this week, but I can't move the KS out of 3 the way they've been playing, or 4. 3 the way they've been playing. KS has just been playing too good.
They're a wagon right now.
So Kramer at 4, KS at 3. You agree?
I agree with everything.
Our power rankings are the same. Then we got Not Fast but Furious at 2, and the Hitmen get off the losing schneid. They pick up a win, and we're back to number 1, where we belong. 14-2 on the regular season.
Complete game.
13-2.
It was a good.
Yes.
Good bounce back. It wasn't like it was a breeze. They tested us. They had something to prove. They had something to play for. And we stuck together and stuck it up.
Yep. I wanted Dan to be here for the end of season awards so that I could hand him the golden cock, but he's not. Anyway, I'm doing my end of season awards for who is what.
Okay.
So I'm going to start at the low and go to the top. So I'm starting here and going back up here.
Okay.
My goon of the year is Mark Mucci. I didn't see what he did to Verdi from what I heard and the way I've seen Mark play and Mark's reputation, and I know Mark. Mark, you're a goon, dude. You hustle. I love you, brother, but you're still a fucking goon. So that's my goon.
Goon.
Can't pick yourself or your brother either.
No, let's see. If I got to pick a goon, I'm going to pick...
Just do it.
I'm going to pick... I don't even know his name. The guy in Dan's team. The defenseman.
Sardo?
No.
Dave Milashevsky,
Yeah.
the big guy. Yeah. He plays tough.
Yeah, I mean, he wanted to fight like pretty much every time I played him.
Yeah, okay.
So.
All right.
I
Dave
have no one
Milashevsky.
else, and that's where I'm at. So.
Here's your goon. I'm going with the ambassador of the league. The guy that does the most for the league, outside of what we do, outside of what myself, Jim does, and other guys do captains-wise. My ambassador of the league is Stu.
Okay. I do appreciate the fact that he brings beer. But I'm going to give it to Rick Calto.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Scott Stanford. Well,
I
thank
just
you.
came over to the Blue Oyster here.
This podcast is brought to you by the Blue Oyster.
Nice, I like it.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to Rick Calto, who put this together and brought me
Right.
into this league. And Stu slashed me like on the forum once, and I bled, so that's why he doesn't get it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
We're doing the end of season awards.
Okay. Potties? Potties.
Potties.
Yes.
Potties. All right, the potties.
That's what we call
my
it.
unsung hero, because he's kept his team together all year through all the struggles and everything that's gone on, is Bill Herman.
Affogato.
No. Thanks, Scotty. Yeah, my unsung hero for the league, and because of what he's done, jerseys-wise for everybody. He's given guys great prices.
Right.
He's done a lot of things behind the scenes with me. I've worked with him. Billy's had some ideas to help the league move along. He's put them to Jim Schott. He's given them to me. So, Bill Herman, you're my unsung hero.
Okay. For the league or for...
For whatever.
All right, my unsung hero would be, and I've said this before, I think Joe Castle on our team, because everyone sees our team, sees Verdi, sees Ford, but the guy plays offense, he plays defense, he doesn't bitch, he doesn't complain, he's always in the right spot, offensively or defensively, knows where to go.
Did you see
doesn't
that
panic.
pass he had on
Yes.
backwards goal? That was a nice pass. Yep.
I'm telling you,
He's a smart player.
I've been saying this all year. He's the straw. He's the straw that stirs our drink. He keeps our team together.
And the thing about
he's
Joe
my unsung hero.
is Joe was one of the best goalies in the area for the longest time.
I know.
And from sitting back there and watching how the game lays out, I think it helps him when he's playing. So I believe that.
Yep.
Sanchez!
Chief Chop Top.
Come on, Chief Chop Chop. So going on to biggest hack. My biggest hack is Paul Sanchez. Chop, 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 chop. What do you think? Come on.
I can't. Chief Chop Chop is
And
right.
here he is. Come on over here. You've been introduced.
He's something
Chief
else.
Chop Chop.
What we doing over here, boys?
So
we're actually you're the chief because we said that we're doing this is from the Blue Oyster in New York City.
Nice.
And you were the chief in the YMCA.
I lost all the facial.
So we call
It comes back in August.
So we called you Chief Chop Chop.
Chief Chop Chop. And we saw you
Sponsored by Great Babe.
We've got Jim Vertolino's tattoo that you gave him tonight.
On the back of the leg?
Yeah, we call that. That's called. You got a rack tat? We're calling that a Sanchez.
And he nominated you for biggest hack. Chief Chop Chop.
That wasn't a slap shot. That was a shot in the back of his leg.
My toes know your game well.
Your big toenails, my name, right?
Chop,
Big
chop,
toes.
chop, 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 chop.
My knee, my disability is because of you.
Great job, guys.
Thanks for stopping by. And then best hands in the league. I'm going to give it to him. I gave it to him at the halfway point. Captain Dangles, Jay Husinger.
Best hands. Say Mike Reagan. He had some dangles yesterday in that game yesterday in tight traffic, full
He
speed.
does it. He is really good in tight. He is. But
And I know he did. I played in tournaments with him, and I remember it. And, obviously, I don't want to keep. I can say Verdi too. Verdi's got great hands, but Mike had a couple of them yesterday in tight, full speed that were just.
I'm going to
ridiculous.
tell you something. I've had a few people say it to me a couple times on goals that Jay has scored this year. They're like, "Holy shit, you weren't kidding about this guy's hands."
Yeah.
This will probably get him going in the first round in the draft. In my mock
Deserves
draft,
it.
I got him going in the first round.
Deserves it.
And Jay's an all-around player. He can play forward, defense. He can play on the wing. He can play center. He can play wherever you need him. And that fucking reach. He intercepts so many passes through the middle. So that's my hands, man. Defensive defenseman. Now you were up there, but you played a lot of offense this year. So I picked a guy that played defense for his team the whole season, who led his team in scoring, who did a lot of things behind the scenes. Also, Dan Puffer. Dan did a great job of keeping his team together with a lot of animosity this year. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys coming back every week. I really wish things could have worked out differently because you would have had a better defenseman on your team. Sorry, Dan, but we all know Jared's great. But Dan's my defensive defenseman of the year.
Okay. Let me see here. I was going with defense. I didn't break them down into two, but I don't know. Defensive defenseman. I can agree with that only for the simple fact that I could say like George Rack was tough to get around.
Yep.
All season he played tough. Goodrich, he played on KS and he plays defense. He's tough to get around, but he played up and back.
Right. He played up more than he played back.
Yeah. So.
Bob Benshadle's a good defenseman too.
Yeah, but
Bob's tough to play against.
Yeah, but he kicked my legs off.
So is Milashevsky too. Milashevsky's tough to play against.
Yeah, and he cross-checked.
Yeah.
So I'll go Puffer.
Okay. And then we're gonna call it. I'm gonna call it the Phil Housley Award. Our best defenseman.
I have another name for it.
What?
It's the Tom Poddie Award.
Tom Poddie?
Yeah, he was an offensive defenseman, played for the Rangers and the Capitals, and his coach used to tell him that he would be responsible for both for and against every game.
Oh, okay. So Tom Poddie. We'll call it the Tom Poddie Award, and maybe the Donut Award. Excuse me.
Not that.
He's going to get the Golden Cock tomorrow.
Yeah, not that my person would get this, but
Mr. Donuts, Dan Reed. Great
Dan Reed,
season, Danny.
absolutely.
Yeah, outstanding. What do you have, 28 goals? That was second to Verdi, and I think Verdi ended up with 42.
Yep.
So, that's
Good job, Dan.
Rookie of the year, Jim Bertolino. To the BDL in general, he's new to everything. He hasn't been there before. So my rookie of the year for the BDL Tuesday, Thursday, whatever is Jim Bertolino. He had a great season. 42 goals and 15 assists, I think it was. 57 points in 15 games. That's pretty good.
All right, I don't know who else.
With a close second to Brandon Florett.
Yeah, I don't know who else. I know because I'm new to the league. I don't know who else is in the league.
Yep.
But if we're going rookie of the year, and you're saying that Brandon's never played before, I would give it to Brandon only for the simple fact that as a goalie, these angles are funny.
Oh, yeah, they are.
The floor is funny, the ball curve is funny, but when you go from playing in a bigger spot to playing in a smaller spot like this,
It makes a difference.
full windups, your angles are all off.
Yep.
So, and he got suspended for fighting. So I mean,
Yeah, he did get in a fight. Well, it was a wrestling match.
Yeah.
He stuck up for himself, and I still feel like shit for not jumping away.
yeah, myself as well too. But
Because
I didn't see.
let
I was all the
politics
way
in
up
the
the
league.
floor.
I was like, you know what? I was going to jump in, and I said, you know what? I'm running the league. It wouldn't look good. It all went into my head. I actually thought for a change. 15 years ago, I would have jumped in and started weighing them.
Generally, I'm there, but I wasn't playing defense that game, and I was all the way up the floor.
I know. And you know what? That's bygones be bygones. Frank Young told me today that he said that he had a misconstrued conception of Brandon Fleuret after that happened. And he said as the season went on, the one guy's his opinion of him went one way and the other the other. And he said he's so happy that Brandon is building and he's glad that he's playing here. So good for you. But yeah, Brandon. Yeah, Brandon was a close second behind Birdie, but the season Birdie put up, I mean, it was ridiculous. My biggest pain in the ass is LRX. No, LRX. Nobody fucking Al runs.
Did you see that picture
No, I didn't.
from Turkey? We'll take a look at it real quick.
When I'm done. LRX.
Let's see. I'm going to say, I'll take it one further. I'll say the triumvirate of Frank, Doc, and Al themselves, because all they did was run.
Triumvirate. What is this? Catholic, Roman Catholic? Fucking. It's a holiday week.
Yeah.
I know what a
The
triumvirate
resurrection.
is. I
Yeah,
know.
the resurrection of the Hitmen this week.
The resurrection of the KS, you mean?
Yeah. So those three are just. When I'm back there and when we play them, I'm like, what the fuck? Let's get this shit over with. I already know I'm icing.
You can come over, Neil.
I already know I'm going in late the next day to work.
Yeah,
You know, so
yeah.
that's what it is.
My GM. Go ahead.
With a close second to Nick Pavada. He's also a PITA.
Yeah, he's a PITA. That was my second by now, Rex. My general manager, captain, was Joe Preichel. Preichel did a good job putting his team together. He did what he had to do. Drafted well, did his analytics, everything. He'll probably have a lot better team this next session because he knows who most everybody is. Mm-hmm. So that's my GM of the year.
I think you did a pretty good job. You drafted Birdie, you traded for Reagan, you drafted Fleuret. I mean, I was next on the list, I guess, so you can't really take credit for me, but you still drafted 3 first-round players. I mean, really, if you're talking GM of the year, you really can't get past that.
Thank you again. I appreciate
and
that.
your team went 13-2. I mean, drafted the MVP and the MVG.
Yeah. Well, you blew it. Well, they all knew it was coming.
Yeah, not to blow your head up or nothing, but I mean, you can't look past any of that.
The most valuable goalie, we all know who it was.
Yep.
It was Tom Siegel. No, I'm sorry. It was actually Tom is valuable in the fact that Tom came in, took over for a goalie that we had a problem with. Chop. Had an issue. Tom came in. Tom filled in for a lot of teams. Tom could actually go under the ambassador also because Tom did a lot of good things. Tom's also always trolling Facebook. He's all over it. Him and Dan Reed,
He's
oh my
master
God.
troll level 5,000.
Yeah, oh God. I don't know who's better, him or Dan.
Dan is more he's just more dry when he does it. You're like,
and Tom throws
he trolling me. Tom is on everything. He's like,
so. Tommy, we love you. We love having you in the league. He
horny chihuahua.
Horny chihuahua. He recruited one of his buddies to play. We thank you. But my MVG, with Tom Siegel being a close second, Stu right behind him, my number one is Brandon Fleuret. Dude, 2.97 goals against average. I mean, that's pretty good in this building. And then the other night he hung.
2 losses.
He hung us in here. He hung us in there the other night because the Kings came after us for a little while there. Mm-hmm. And then the MVP. I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. He's the most valuable player to his team. And if it wasn't for him, we probably would have went 7-8. Okay, Jim Vertolino, Verdi, my boy, my homie. Great season, Jim. Welcome to the Orchard Park, Frank Young's. I'm glad you finally decided to jump over and come play with us.
I mean, the stats speak for themselves. I for one, I'll say this. I for one will disagree slightly with your last statement. You know, we were a pretty deep team, even without Birdie, who's a great player.
With Brandon
and with Mike.
You're right. Yeah,
I mean,
right. 10-5.
Yeah,
All right.
something. I think we would have been competitive. We would have
Okay.
changed our style of play, and I think we would have just adapted.
All right.
That's my opinion.
Okay.
He's great. He may or may not be, homo. I mean, that's
All right.
nothing wrong with that.
He's got to put his toys away before he takes selfies
Yeah.
and sends them to me.
Yeah.
Verdi, what were you thinking, dude? You knew I was going to post it.
Yeah, that's terrible.
At least there was no shit on it, so we didn't just get done using it.
Was it sitting on the dishwasher?
It was on his dresser. Anyway, and then we're going to go All-Star game. The All-Star game is May 7th. It is at 8:30 after the championship game. As long as there's no overtime, we should start right around 8:30.
Yep.
I sent the text out to everybody. The teams are as follows. Brandon Florette's team, and Brandon was the captain due to the fact that he had a 12-2 record with a 41 goal against average, 41 goals against for the season in 15 games. One shutout and a 2.93 goals against average, which is that's ridiculous. On his team, we have from the Hitmen, we have Jim Verlino and Jamie Annunziata. From Team KAS, he built this team around KAS, didn't he? We got Frank Annunziata, Jay Husinger, Frank Russo, and Jeff Goodrich. And then from the Kings, he grabbed Pete Armini and Dateline Predators. Sanchez made the cut. Chop, chop. Chop, chop, chop. And then from Not Fast But Furious, he took the Donut and the Donut Stealer, Reed and Sarno. So that's what we got for that team. They will be wearing white, and they will be representing the Wales Conference. If any of you old-time hockey guys know, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. They will wear also, if I say it again, I'm sorry, they'll be wearing white. For the Campbell, Captain Stu, 9-5 record, 61 goals against, 4.06 goals against average, which is not bad at all, and a shutout. And he had a shutout tonight, too, against NWO.
That's nuts.
That's crazy. That's Alecki, Dagati, Dungin.
I know.
Shut him out.
I played him.
Shut him out. Again, he's had 2 shutouts. Unbelievable. Way to go,
He's been
Stu.
playing really well the last few weeks.
The ambassador. In his team, he drafted from Dateline Predators. He took Favada, Rukov, and Stamford made the cut. From the Hitmen, he took myself and Mike Reagan. Thank you for, I appreciate the honor. Thank you, Stu. Not Fast But Furious, Ben McDaniel, Sean Martz. The Kings, he took Sperduti and Herman. And he's got 2 guys that turn the ball over the most in the on his team, me and Terry. Do not pair us together. The ball will never leave our zone. I'm just kidding, Terry. I love you. And then Puffer from Kramer. I want to be paired with Puffer. That way he can cover my mistakes. Because you know me. I don't score on my own goalie, but I do tend to give it to the other team. You want to comment?
Yeah, I don't tend to give it to the other team, but I score on my own goalie, so.
That was nice last week. We would have went to overtime, you fucker, if you wouldn't have did that.
Yeah. Well, you saw what I was playing with.
Yeah, he was playing with me. He's like, do I put it in my own goal or do I give it to Rick? They're going to put it in anyway.
No, I ain't making excuses, but the end, this far, the end of my blade of my stick was basically
He's got a
piece
banana
of paper,
snapper.
and I went to shoot it, and it went like this right into the net.
He went to pass it across.
I was literally
me.
behind the net, and it went straight out and back in.
I jinxed him because he went to pass it to me, and of course, what happened to the tail of his blade went right in his own net. So it was
you
my
have a new
fault.
stick.
Good. We're gonna need it tonight.
Yeah.
That's all I got for everything. We've got playoffs starting next week. Semifinals are next week, or quarterfinals are next week. Semifinals are following week. Apologize. May 7th. All-Star game, championship, and the draft. What's going to happen at the draft? Are there going to be any trades? Is anybody going to trade the picks? You think there are any trades?
I do.
You do.
Because I think people are going to want to align themselves with their friends or someone they drive with or something like that.
Okay.
Tuesday seems pretty reasonable about stuff like that. So I do. I think so.
Do you see do you foresee a shocker in the draft? What would be your big shocker for the draft?
Again, it's not going to be a shocker because someone is going to draft someone where they not supposed to be because they want to make sure they got their friends on their team. I'm telling you right now, that's going to happen.
I know that's going to happen. I know that for a fact that's going to happen. I think that I really think that the draft is going to. I'm telling you right now, one, Puffer is going to take Vertolino. Okay, especially the way Jimmy played the other night. Jimmy back-checked hard. He played. He played hard. He took guys from the Kings off their game the other night.
I know.
Number 2 is going to be. Preichel is not going to bypass Curtis. He's not. To be able to have the opportunity to play with him, and the way Preichel scores those around the net goals where he gets open, he finds the open spot. Pat will find him. Number 3, if he doesn't go number 3, it's crazy. Is Bill Dotson. If Reed and Dotson, you start out with those guys as your defense,
right.
You have both your pairings set because you can put anybody with either one of them and you're covered.
I think so. Maybe Shot takes Floret at 4.
Shot's going to take Floret at 4.
Favada, I think will take.
Here's why Shot's going to take Floret at 4. Because what you don't realize is in those third and fourth rounds, those guys all lose picks. That's when he's going to be able to build his team up, like I did in the fantasy draft.
I think it's there, or I think maybe a Rukov. But if he takes Floret, Dan Reed's going to take Dotson. I think he's going to take Floret. I think Favada takes Rukov.
No, Favada's taking Husinger. You're not going to talk him out of it on the podcast. I'm telling you. He already told me. He's taking Husinger.
I'm going to tell you I think he takes Rukov.
He's taking Husinger. He's going to take Rukov on the backside.
I think that
your boy Goodrich is going to take Russo and Reagan.
I think he takes Russo. I know who he's going to take after that, but I'm not saying it on the podcast.
Russo and Reagan. If he doesn't take Reagan there, he's crazy because he has 2 of the best centers.
Again, remember what I just said 5 minutes ago.
All right. Okay. All right, I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I know what's going to happen there.
All right. Well, then coming back, then I think that's where Nick's going to grab Rukov. So he'll have himself, Husinger, or Rukov on his first line. You can't beat that.
I think at that point, I think he's going to have Rukov there again. Knowing what I know, those players will still all be there.
So then Shot comes back and picks. And I think Shot's going to take either.
He's going to get Mike Reagan right there.
You think so? Okay. All right, we'll see. You got to get in the camera, dude.
Well, I mean, look where my arm is. I'm trying to do this so we have enough space. Come here, you little lamb. That's my guess.
All right. Well, so do you think after Floret goes in the first round that the goalies will start to fall early in the second and third?
I think the next goalie that falls will bring that because you said I believe that there's a couple here and there's a couple here. So the next one is key because then after that there's the next one and then a drop off. So the next one that gets taken, the next one will get taken, and then people will be like,
all right.
There's two in my mind. There's two schools of thought here. You build a team strong enough where your goalie doesn't matter, or you build your team around your goalie. So you're going to build your team around your goalie, which I think Jimmy Shot might. It's my opinion. Because he was on Floret's team, he saw the effect it had on us. You don't waste your time. You just take them.
That's like having a Kikes back there or Pryor. I mean, it makes a big difference.
He's the best defenseman.
Yeah, I mean, that and the goalposts are for him. His goalposts were pretty good the other night. And I'll tell you what, the other thing about our game, and I'm sorry I keep harping on our game, but we did play in it, was the shots that we blocked. Oh my God! You had like 7. I lost count. I had 3 in one flurry.
Yeah, the Bill Herman one was still the one.
Jeremy Katz had a couple big ones. Yep. The one when Reagan dove and hit and got his stick. I mean, I had a couple on Burness. I mean, it was my stick. I think my stick had as many blocks as my body did the other night. Yeah. So it was a lot of shots. Those guys took a lot of shots the other night.
Yeah, they were shooting.
If there would have been a shot counter where they did the shots on goal, shots attempted, I think they would have been over 70, 75. No shit, they shot a lot.
They did shoot.
So, they're all the teams I thought were pretty even this year. There were some, like I said, there were some drop-offs where we lost guys and teams were weakened because of it. Guys that never showed up to begin with, thank you for those guys. You'll never be invited again. And you can tell them I said that. That's,
I mean, even our team, we played short a lot this year. I mean, we had Dan Diaz, it was hurt. Katz wasn't feel good. Tadaro got hurt. He was gone. And, I was a pickup because of it. He had 2 guys drop on me.
Well, Osborne dropped on me and Lotta dropped on me before the season started. So
everyone knows, too, it's probably a stroke of luck because we were, 5 minutes from you picking up me and my brother?
Yeah.
Dan Diaz picks up the Facebook because my brother wasn't on Facebook. He picks up the Facebook post right before, and I'm like, I can text my brother. He's next on the list.
Yeah.
After that.
Yep. And Danny got back to me.
Yep.
Yeah, because I would have hit you and your. Oh my God, that would have been a shitstorm if I got both of you.
Yep, I know.
So
I know.
I mean, your brother's probably a second, early third round pick. So
he's a beast.
Anyway, we've been on for long enough. It's 39 minutes and 1 counting. 2, 3, 4.
And I'm out of beer.
Anyway, Jamie's out of beer. I'm out of words. Thank you, everyone, for this season. I'm looking forward to the playoffs, the All-Star game, the draft. I'm looking forward to next session. It's going to be even bigger and better. And hopefully we can start our fundraising for our cup.
Absolutely. Right? Myself and Dan Reed will be doing the 50-50 Bridge and Shot starting next season. And, obviously
we should start it at the draft.
We can do that.
See you next Tuesday.